Good morning gamers, and today we will be exploring the empty land of Roblox templates in this video as we will be breathing life into these depressing games. You see, if you go on BrawlerStudios, it has multiple starter templates where you can just click on them and get a fully loaded game ready to be fabricated. And you'll see later how I turned these games from a wasted badlands to something as beautiful as a flowing spring. I first loaded up the obby template and glanced at the map I was in. It was like a free starter pack. Definitely looks like it'd be free. From then, I began to brainstorm a theme I would associate with this map. I was seeking for something that would be simple but effective, and one of these things is pressing the subscribe button, because most people that watch YouTube nowadays forget that the button exists. You guys absolutely crushed it last video, and today we can do it again. Alright, back to insulting this template. I was justifying some possible ideas, and I decided the best way to find out which one is the best, 2 words beginning with P, a method most new and lazy YouTube creators decide on: plagiarize and play. I decided to test my chances at cool obby 2, and this obby's visuals is telling me that this creator had a bad day. But I do praise the creativity of how platforms are placed and objects are used to provide a challenging gameplay while still keeping it sight readable, and I respect this creator for putting his sanity through the line for us. Back to the game, I decided to just go with the simple cliffs above the water style. It's the easiest art style to do without me getting bored and dumping this project. I started creating this design style by changing the color of the top to be green, like grass, and I started adding brown wedges at the bottom to make a structure. However, I started to run into a big and unexpected problem that would tarnish this game's history and reputation for a good looking obby. You see, this pillar looks normal, but then look at the opposite side. It's off-centered. Oh, Brawler, it's only by like half a stud. You'll be fine. No, I cannot let this war crime slide by. 20 minutes of my time was used on fixing it, so it was time for plan B. A simple and effective strategy. Steal a model from a random guy. And it worked! I don't know how just using another model worked, but I mean thousands of years ago, Romans chucked a bunch of stuff in cement and somehow made concrete 20 times stronger, so my logic isn't as absurd. After all that rambling, I finished the first pillar. It was majestic, it was faultless, and it was casually floating above the void as we are speaking right now. So I decided to create some water to make it look more secure, and that water floats above the void. You know what? Never mind. Stability isn't prioritized in this universe. And with that knowledge, it was time to start designing all the stages. The first stage was jumping onto platforms to the next area, and we really need to talk about this section because I really like it. So we're just going to be doing the same thing but with grass pillars, duplicating them onto spaces, and I even adjusted the angle of some. That's why I call myself the Picasso of Roblox. The second stage is just the same thing but in different formation, so I decided to also make some platforms, but instead they have planks to help the player. Don't try jumping to the next platform. It doesn't work. I was a test subject. The third stage was a straight walk along with some conveyor belts, and we also need to talk about this area because I want to remove it from existence. I've seen sloths move faster than this. So how do you fix the worst part of the map? You don't. You just delete it and replace it with something more focused on balance. And therefore, I chose a very skinny tightrope, where each step you either pass through or pass away. The fourth stage is the first kill brick section, and I'll preserve the gameplay while applying my whimsical twist to it. I changed it to lava, nothing complex. Also, you might be wondering, what happened to the grass? I thought there was grass here. Well, you see, grass is incapable of handling lava as, well, this happens. While making the lava though, I realized lava wouldn't just sit there. It'll flow off the cliff. So what did I do to fix that? I let it off the cliff, and also I turned the surrounding water into stone. Minecraft has taught me well. Minecraft increases brain power, while my grades cry in the corner. But trust me, it gets even dumber in the next stage. The fifth stage is yet again kill bricks in a checkers pattern, for some reason. I already know lava like that wouldn't flow properly, so I decided to put on the same fate as stage 3 and reimagine this place. And I think I've got the game-winning idea. First I used these stone pillars and stretched 2 of them, and then I added a stone plate on top and attached a rope to the wooden board, and I present to you a magical, beautifully crafted, the wood board hanging off a tall arch. Amazing. Oh, also I copy and pasted a few more and set them offset from the starting position to make them swing. Finally, the obby ends on the 6th stage where the player leaps and gets propelled by a bounce pad onto the ending platform. I wanted to change this, but it was too iconic to scrap it like that. So what could possibly replace the bounce pad? Just wait, because there's one creation very underrated that people forget it exists. I turned this bounce pad into a working geyser, and now you too can experience what it's like to be forcibly ejected from the Earth's crust. Finally, for the end part, I created a giant stone platform for the player to land on, and I also added a flag because, well, I don't know, people just do that when they reach territory. Then I started scripting, my least favorite part. First up is the spawning system, where the player would respawn on the most recent stage. I coded it, hit play, and the first time I died, it worked. The second time, instant combustion. Yes, apparently Roblox disagrees with second chances. I also went ahead and made a system for the lava and water to kill the players on touch, but that combined with the broken respawn, and congratulations, you now have eternal punishment. So I decided to put the spawn system into its own script attached to the character. Sure enough, it worked. Miracles do happen. Next, I wanted the place to feel immersive, so I added some background ambient sounds and a jump noise sound effect. Also, it covers up the sound of my soul slowly dying while the scripting. At this point, I was lazy. The last thing I added was just a particle effect when the player jumps. I scrolled through the toolbox and found a ring effect. I coded it, and guess what? It emitted. Sometimes. So I made some adjustments to the code, and the second test, why are there so many? Every time you jump, about 1 to 3 particles will spawn, but honestly, I was too burned out to care anymore about this, that I just went, particles work, work is done. Call me when Roblox starts paying overtime. And that's how I turned a measly obby template into something slightly less miserable. By the way, it's public and free on Roblox, but really, why would anyone want to play this? It's only 30 seconds long. A game of Clash of Clans takes longer. Anyways, that's all for today's video, and according to YouTube statistics, there is no one sticking around to this pod, so I'm just gonna end the video here. Goodbye!